Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Musically Mindful, a show where I sit down with your favorite musicians, artists, and even some of your friends to discuss mental health within the music space. I want to apologize if you guys hear a bit more of a speech impediment than normal. I'm about a week and a half into Invisalign treatment, and it is what it is. I'm learning how to speak with them a little bit better. Sometimes it's good, sometimes I forget. But it is what it is. I'm happy to be doing it, so this is something that I will incur. I do not have a guest with me this week. I haven't had any guests over the past couple weeks or even the past couple of months. I haven't put out an episode in a while, and today I just decided that I wanted to talk. I've done a few solo episodes before, and I kind of just wanted to give myself a long form platform to say whatever's on my mind or speak about whatever is going on just because I can and because I feel like it. So if you choose to listen to this one, that's awesome. If you decide to deal with my speech, awesome. And if not, that's okay. I I'm just gonna talk about whatever is on my mind. Um, because it's cool to have a podcast where we're not only talking about mental health and music, but we're just talking about mental health. Because that's the whole point of the show, really. Um, I haven't really been on line at all over the past couple of weeks. I haven't been on the podcast in a couple of months, let alone made any videos or any of the people that, might watch the podcast. If you follow me on Instagram and stuff like that, I usually I make daily motivational videos and general mental health content. And I haven't done fucking anything in weeks. Um, and it's something I've talked about on the show before that when it doesn't serve me, it doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel like what I should be doing. And in a real way, sometimes I just can't bring myself to get online because it's not where I want to be. And over the past couple of weeks, past couple of months, it just hasn't been something that I wanted to do. Um, I had a really busy summer. I've had a really busy year. Um, a lot of travel, a lot of music, a lot of work stuff, a lot of personal stuff, relationship stuff. Um, and yeah, I came back from the last big trip that I did over the summer. Um I went to the King Gizzard tour opener. It was like a 5 week tour, pretty much. I went to King Gizzard's tour opener in DC, and then I went and saw Gary Clark Jr. on a work trip down south. And then from there, I went to Vegas for the Sphere to see Dead and Company. And then I came back to New Jersey and I went to the Great Divide, held by Dogs in a Pile. From there, went right into Mondegreen. And then from Mondegreen afterwards, I went to the Caverns to see Pigeons Frasco Dogs tour for two more shows. Then I came back to Colorado and it was Krungbin and Fish at Dick's, which I had my 100th show. And then the following week was the Disco Biscuits here in Colorado, right into King Gizzard at Red Rocks. And intertwined with all of that was also work related stuff. And it culminated at the end pretty much with me turning 30. And that trip was everything that it needed to be and more and less. And I saw all of my friends from all over the country, and I saw my favorite bands, and I saw, my mom and my dog back home, and just spent weeks running it and running it. And it was beautiful, and I'm so grateful and fortunate to have been able to do all of that stuff over those couple of weeks. And I got home and I turned 30, and I felt so good about everything in my life. 30 is a big age, and people are always like, oh, like, how do you feel about it? I could not have felt better about it. If you've listened to any of these episodes, you've probably gotten the idea that I wasn't the best human being um, through the younger years of my life. My 20s were a whirlwind of emotional instability, financial instability, substance abuse, coupled with amazing adventure and musical endeavors and travel and seeing the country, and more than I could ever describe. My 20s were would be an incredible movie. And on the precipice of 30, I was so happy to turn 30 as the person that I am. Um, I felt so good about the things I'd overcome. I felt so good about the things in my past that I had processed and dealt with. I felt so good about my professional endeavors, my creative endeavors, my personal life, my health, like all, you name it. I could not have been more excited to have become the person that I am entering into a new decade. And I felt so content and I felt so good. And heading into Billy String's Renewal Festival, which marked a year of living in Colorado, and was kind of a bookmark of this new chapter that I've been on. Um, I remember I was sitting down in my friend's kitchen with two good friends of mine, their fiancés. Fiancés? Do you say that? I don't know. But I was sitting down with them, just talking about how content I was with my life and how excited I was and how pivotal and good the moment felt to my current iteration, and how I was so proud that I was going into a festival called Renewal because I felt like I was ingrained in a personal renewal that I've been on. Um, and part of that was I read a really great book recently called The Book of Forgiving. And I won't get into too much detail. I highly recommend you read it. It is basically discussing the fourfold path of forgiveness, and was written by a gentleman who worked for a committee in South Africa during the apartheid state, that was basically about healing traumas. And it was a really interesting perspective. And the book, discusses different people's stories and different acts of forgiveness. Somebody that killed two daughters while driving, and went to prison, and the two children that were killed, the parents had gone to the prison to forgive the person, and now the three of them traveled the country telling the story and working together to discuss forgiveness and other aspects of the situation. And I was just kind of blown away by the book, and it really made me look inward and look into my past, and gave me a different frame of what forgiveness means, and that forgiveness isn't for the other person. You're not apologizing to somebody just for them. You're not forgiving somebody just for them. You're doing it for you. And in that vein, I unearthed some things from my past where I felt that I needed to give forgiveness. I felt that I needed to ask people for forgiveness, or at least apologize if they weren't receptive to it, in order to put some things to bed, and also let go of some things that I thought that maybe I had completely buttoned up, but that I hadn't. I won't get into those details because those are personal. And the reason I mention it is because I think that those were heavy layers that I had shed. And going into renewal, I don't think that they sank all the way in yet. And I went to renewal and had an absolute blast. And he'll probably never see this and whatever, but congratulations to Billy Strings and his wife Allie on their first child. And thank you for still to the band, Jared, Royal, Alex, and Billy. An amazing festival, Molly Tuttle, Mountain Grass Unit. It was an unbelievable weekend in one of the most beautiful places. The site is unreal. Renewal was still amazing. And I came home from that festival and just I just tapped. I was just tapped. I think everything of the past year of life and the summer of busyness and all of the things caught up with me. And I guess to divulge a little bit deeper of why I felt so exhausted, I'm a creature of habit, but I'm also like a really bad creature of progress. And I say that because I sometimes I don't know how to stop trying to progress and trying to move forward. And I'm constantly giving myself things to work on, and I'm constantly trying to get better, and even in things that I don't need to. But I also put a lot of myself out for other people, and I put a lot of myself, I open a lot of myself up to be that for other people. I'm not a therapist by any fucking stretch of the imagination, but there are days where I feel like I am. And after, I mean, you can only do so much. And when you're traveling and you're going to see music and you're also trying to keep up with your personal fitness goals that are really, really diligent. For anybody who knows me knows that I'm rigorous in the way that I train, in the way that I eat, in the way I take care of myself. But coupled with keeping up with work and keeping up with friends and trying to explore creative endeavors such as this podcast, mental health related content, writing music, and trying to get ready to record music of my own. And secretly, I've been writing a book and getting into a relationship and being there for people and all just so many things. And I'm consistently packing things onto myself to try to challenge myself and get better and learn and grow and do something that I didn't know if I would be able to do and challenge myself. And I adamantly go out of my way to make things harder because I feel like it will make me stronger and make me better. And I still agree with that. But man, after just months and months and months and months of doing it and going and going and going and going and going, I think that I just finally kind of I used it all up. And I can't say that I was pouring from an empty cup, but it's like a Brita, you can only fill it and empty it so quickly. Um, and yeah, the past couple of weeks, particularly the last month or so, has just been tough. I haven't foregone any of my responsibilities. I'm still getting up every day and I'm doing my routine and I'm out running and I'm going to the gym 5, 6 days a week and I'm digging into this. Something that's really been keeping me steady has been this bulking phase that I've been going on with the gym and really dialing in my training and getting stronger. And that coupled with running has been really, really great. And I think that I realized that through shedding those layers of forgiveness and unearthing those relationships and bonds and in other facets as well, the reflection of 30 years and all of that, I think that I spiritually just overloaded myself a little bit. And that's the thing. I'm not physically tired. I'm not ill. I'm spiritually tired. I'm emotionally tired. And I have to admit to myself that for the first time in a really long time, even if I can't understand why, am a little bit sad. And that isn't something that I often admit. It isn't something that I often feel, to be very honest. I mean, I am an overly positive person and I'm an outwardly expressive, positive person. I always talk about good things and recognize that there are bad things, but I haven't been in a situation in a long time where I was sad for more than like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I've been a little sad the past couple weeks. I don't really know why in particular. I don't know what the excuse me again with the with the retainers. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've been yeah, I've just been a little sad. And that's okay. And that's something that I'm trying to accept and something that I'm trying to sit with. You know, I'm an avid reader and listener of Ram Dass and have really been trying to practice being present and being here now. And I do find that I am often very present in the things that I am in, but I'm really bad at sitting still. And I'm really bad at just actually being without a goal, without a project, without something that I'm trying to achieve, something I'm trying to accomplish, something that I'm trying to tack onto myself. In the past couple weeks, I've just been sitting, not doing, not working on these projects, not trying to write a book, not trying to, I've still been working on music here and there because for me it's a cathartic thing and it helps me process, but I haven't really been out and about. I haven't been talking to people the level that I do. I haven't been as open and available as I usually am, and I'm trying to let that be okay. Um, Something I've come to terms with recently is, you know, I'm very fortunate that I get a lot of compliments from people and am told often that I'm an inspiration and I'm a positive role model and I'm impressive and all these other buzzwords. And I always have felt like at times and by certain people, I get kind of put on this pedestal. But what I've had to come to terms with recently is that I think that I open myself up to that because I put myself there sometimes. And I hold myself to a really high standard and I welcome I, I do it to myself so other people do it too. And it doesn't feel good sometimes. You know, I'm learning, I've learned more to celebrate myself and to allow people to celebrate me, but I don't do well with adulation. I don't do well with compliments, and it's something I've been working on, but I'm not perfect at it, and I'm really I really just am not good at it. And I'm trying to get better at it. And I have, and I've made progress and go figure, progress. But yeah, the past couple of weeks, I just really haven't been focused on that pedestal, and I'm not on it. I haven't been putting myself on it because I'm not there. And that's okay. And in a weird way, where I don't think that ruminating in any ill feeling is necessarily a good thing, I've had a smile on my face the past 2 days simply because I know this isn't going to make sense and maybe I can kind of talk it out, but I'm happy that I'm sad. It's like bringing me back down a little bit. And it's also making me be present with it and take the lesson from how it's making me feel. And a lot of times in my life when I've gone through really transformative things or I've been at a low, I blast out of it on the other side and I'm in so much of a better place than I was. And being able to recognize that I'm in it and that that is likely where it's going to get me to at the end is making me really happy and feel really fortunate about it and make me feel good about the fact that I'm okay, that I'm not just like absolutely crushing it at the moment. There's solace in that. I don't know why. I feel really good about the fact that I'm giving myself the space that I don't often. I'm really excited that I'm letting myself be sad. I'm letting myself be tired. I'm letting myself feel it and not feeling guilty for feeling it. And these are all things that I never would have done years ago. These are all things that I never would have done. I would have allowed myself to do. And I'm appreciative of that. And I've been like purposefully trying to be lonely and trying to be alone and shed the layers that I feel like I am and work on not work on myself, but work on being with myself and and deepening into my spiritual practice and trying to bring my soul and my energy back, but not bring it back in the way of like, oh, like get back to that, but it shift and change and grow and be different. Um, Energy is malleable and it comes in waves and you can't control how hard it's going to crash or when it's going to turn into a storm or when it's going to be calm, but you can control how you react to it. And I feel really good about the fact that I've reacted to this in this manner and it makes me feel like I've grown. It's funny, as a constant trying to progress forward, I'm realizing that you can still make progress standing in place and learning where you are and being where you are and accepting the things that you're in is a part of progress and it's a part of moving forward and it's a part of movement. Um, this is again me taking a lot on myself, but from a different place and giving it to myself and knowing that all the things that are there are still going to be there. My friends are still there. My creative endeavors are still there. I'm still doing all the things. My godfather told me when I was much younger a really great statement that I've always taken with me. And he said that as long as you do what you have to do, nobody can say shit about what you want to do. And right now, I'm still doing everything that I have to do. And I am doing what I want to do. Rather, I'm doing what I need to do. And take a step back from being the machine that I constantly try to be. I have taken a lot of lessons this year because of a particular relationship that I was in, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot of like small lessons, but I learned a lot of big lessons. One of which being sometimes I just should shut the fuck up. um, the teachers that wrote that on my report cards my entire life probably were onto something. I always feel like I need to say something. I always feel like I have something to say. And I can always have something to say, but that doesn't mean that I need to say it. And I am an aggressive problem solver, but I can't solve other people's problems, especially if they don't want me to. And if they don't want me to, I shouldn't try, and I shouldn't take that on myself either. And I'm also trying to kind of get to a point where I don't, a lot of times when I am in this place of when I'm not able to communicate with others, or I don't feel like I have the capacity, which is very rare, but when I don't feel like I have the capacity for other people, I still put myself out and I still pour from that empty cup and I give other people the things that I'm not giving to myself. And I feel like I have to do it. And I feel a responsibility to my friends, and I feel a responsibility to the people that I open that door to, because it's something that I'm meant to do. And right now, for the first time, I don't feel guilty. I don't feel bad that I'm not answering text messages. I don't feel bad that I'm not. I got back on social media for the first time in almost a month, and I'm going to be very forward. I took down the people that I'm following more than half. Unfollowed hundreds of accounts. And I did it with the thought of, if I don't have a personal bond, or I'm not a real huge fan, or if I haven't spoken to them in months or years or what have you, those relationships can still be there. And I'm a big believer that you can maintain your relationships without constant communication in ways. And a lot of times, particularly with friends, the ones that you don't talk to for a year, that when you do, you pick up right where you left off, are the deepest relationships, because they're not conditional. They don't force you to maintain. And a lot of times when you're the one maintaining and it's not mutual, the relationship arguably isn't worth it anyway. There's another adage that I love is that, or I might have come up with this one. I don't really know. It might be a furthering of one I heard at some point. My friends call me a fortune cookie, and sometimes I don't even remember where stuff comes from. But um, it's that you don't have to close the door, but you also don't have to stand there and hold it open. Let it swing. And social media has a really bad impact on that, because you're looking through a lens that people want you to see. It's not all real. It's not life. It's a highlight reel of life. And I think part of why I've put stuff like this out online and on the internet is because I want the real shit online too. It's not all about what boat you were on, and even me. Like, I'll post good photos of me in a kayak, or me, excuse me, or me like somewhere great or whatever, but like, you don't see a lot of people that are online like, oh, like, can't pay my bills this month, like, haha, like, it's not that energy. It's not the platforms and the places that creates and maintains, but it should be, and I want it to be. I want to post struggles. I want to post bad stuff. I want to post good stuff. I want to post it all, because that's life. And when I say I want to post it all, the reality is like, okay, cool. Like that's not how it works. Like I don't want to post it anyway. I want my life to be my actual life. I want the people that are present in my life to be present in my life, and I want to be present in theirs. And I'm going to paraphrase this, but I heard this quote on a podcast interview that Tom Holland did, and he was quoting Christian Bale. I don't know where the quote came from or whatever, but it was, if you have a problem with me, text me. And if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me. And it's such a great quote. And I looked at social media, and so much of the landscape is people that I would never talk to, and people that I don't communicate with, and people that I'm not involved in. So it's not my place to worry about what they want to put online, or even to subject myself to seeing it. And that felt really good, and that was a layer to shed and felt very healthy. Um, I think I'm just at a point where I'm eliminating things from my life that I just simply don't want. And it's okay not to want things. It's okay to not be the thing that people want you to be if you don't want to be it. It's okay not to have the things that other people say you need to have. There's a lot of people throw advice around, and a lot of people throw shit like that against the wall. But how many times has somebody come to you that gave you advice that hasn't accomplished what you're trying to accomplish? Or how many people that aren't married or aren't happy with a spouse or aren't in a loving, committed relationship are giving you relationship advice? Like, who the fuck, why would you want to listen to somebody who doesn't have the knowledge or the expertise? And same with social media. If I'm not invested in your life, in your real life, why the fuck do I need to care about what you put online, or where your vacation was? Like, and maybe that's a little rude, maybe it's a little cold, but as open as I am to the world, and as open, and I want a reaction to everybody. I want or not a reaction. I want an interaction with everybody. I want to talk to the homeless guy on the corner and ask why. I want to talk to the woman behind the counter. I want to talk to my best friend. I want to talk to my coworker. I want to talk to the stranger that reaches out on LinkedIn for something professional. I want to talk to other people that make content. Like I want to talk, and I want interaction and opportunity to cultivate those bonds and those experiences that take you deeper. And sometimes social media is not that, and that's okay. It has its place. Doom scrolling, the dopamine, the statistics about dopamine and all the stuff I don't need to get into, because if you're watching this, you probably have an interest in mental health. You've probably talked about social media. And if not, go look it up. There's people that are way smarter than I am that actually talk about it. But it's okay to be tired of all of that. It's okay to not want to be a part of everything all the time. I don't have FOMO anymore. And not just over the past couple of weeks, but in general. Like, if I don't want to do it, like, I'm not going to do it. If I don't want to talk to somebody, I'm not going to talk to somebody. If I don't want to go see something, I'm not going to go see something. And that's my right. And it's so weird that that's something that I have to like work on and feel good about, is like just not wanting the things that I don't want. It sounds really stupid when I say it out loud, but it's true. We're in this spin cycle of you need to have this, and oh, you're 30, like you should have this by this time, and people's calendars and clocks, and like fuck all of that. I'm at my pace. I'm in my life living how I want to. And I think that I forgot that that's okay for a little bit. And yeah, I've been making myself be lonely. I've been making myself not want to go out and do things. And the reason I'm making myself do that is because that is what I want, and I'm stopping like fighting it. My body is telling me that it doesn't want to go and do those things. So instead of fighting it and just going and doing it anyway, I'm like making myself do it. I'm forcing myself to slow down. I'm forcing myself to take a break and stop. And I'm just listening to my intuition. I'm listening. I've spoken about it on this show, and I've spoken about it in real life and in all the videos that I do. The universe tends to unfold as it should, and every time in my life when my life has gotten better is when I listen to it. So I'm listening to it. And the reason that I'm recording an episode today is because I fucking felt like it, and I felt like talking, and I haven't felt like talking for weeks. And today I do. Right now I do. I think it's important to take that in stride. I think it's important to recognize when you're in the midst of, or the sways of your emotional, when your emotions are something to pay attention to and to feel and to understand, and also to let come and let go just as easily. But listen to them. And it's important that you are okay with listening to them. Like I was saying before, like it's okay that I am sad and I'm letting myself be a little sad. And in a weird way, that is making me happy. It's kind of a weird duality and an interesting juxtaposition that feeling sad and allowing myself to feel sad is actually making me feel happy. And I just think that you need to give yourself a reset button. You need to give yourself a troubleshoot program. Right now, I'm troubleshooting. I'm taking my time. I, there's a consistent dating culture in the world, and a consistent, some people feel the need that they need to be with somebody, or they need to see somebody all the time, or they need to be around people all the time. And I really like that I can appreciate when I am and when I'm not. I love people. I love helping people. I love conversating with people. I love discussing life with people. I love being there for the people that aren't there for themselves. But I'm also really enjoying not being there for anybody but me at the moment, because at the end of the day, everything in your life has to start with you. Everything has to be for you. Your health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your self awareness. The reason that you do something, the reason that you get out of bed, the reason that you make progress, all of those things have to be for you. And if you don't have a reason for doing it, you need to stop and address it and figure out what that is. You need to find your purpose, and it doesn't have to be servicing others. It doesn't have to be creating something. It can just be getting up and getting out of bed. My purpose today is to smile. My purpose today is to get out of the house and go for a walk. My purpose today is to be a better version of myself than it was yesterday. And those are all things that can be predicated on you. Right now, my purpose is taking care of me. And my purpose is giving myself the space that I normally don't. Because while I haven't forgotten to love myself, I have forgotten to allow myself to be. And I don't want to do that anymore. Don't get me wrong, there's an ebb and flow, and I'm sure 6 months from now I'll look back on this and be like, oh man, like now, and I'll be up, 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 and I'll be traveling and running all over the place and doing the things and recording music and playing, da da da, and you name it. Right now, I don't want to. It feels really good to want to be able to talk, or rather, it feels really good to want to talk, not to be able to, but to want to talk. And I feel really good about the fact that this is a platform that I've created specifically for this purpose, to be honest about where we are in our lives and to discuss mental health and to push it forward and to be, this podcast isn't just for other people, it's for me too. And today it's not for me to be there for a musician. It's not for me to give you guys insight into somebody that you're following. It's just to give you insight into life and into me, and maybe it's there are things that I'm going through that you can relate to. Maybe there are things that are helping you understand what somebody else in your own life is going through or you yourself. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to not be fucking working yourself to the bone. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be stuck. You're just allowed to be you, however you are. And I don't think that we give ourselves enough grace to just simply be who we are, where we are, when we are. And I forgot about that for the last couple of weeks. So I'm doing exactly that. And the beautiful thing of that is I have not once forgot that it's all gonna be okay and it's all gonna work out. And everything that's supposed to find you is gonna find you. And right now, sadness and discomfort and shedding layers and stopping is what needed to find me in the moment because I had to remember that it exists. I had to remember that it's okay for me to do that. I haven't been sad in a long time, and I have a fucking smile on my face saying that I'm sad because I'm letting myself be sad. I'm letting myself feel sad. I'm letting myself feel like I don't want to do anything. I'm not doing anything. Um, it's a big lesson that I learned that I wish that I knew a couple of months ago because it probably would have helped me with something. But again, everything that's meant for you won't miss you, and the things that miss you weren't meant for you in the first place. Life's gonna roll on with or without you. Sometimes, and this is a big one of the biggest, epiphanies. Fucking let life roll on. You don't need to be a part of every single fucking thing that happens in this world. You don't need to be in everybody's life every day, all the time. Even if you have something to say, you don't need to say it unless you want to, and then go and say it. Don't ever silence yourself or not allow yourself to do what you want to do. But also, like, I know I've been talking for however long I have, and I'm on a podcast talking, but like, shut the fuck up. Let yourself shut the fuck up. Um, yeah, I'm diligent in my discipline, and I'm really somebody that, for the people that watch this, the people that know me know that I am on top of my game 9.8, 9.999 times out of 10. I'm on my game. I have a plan. I'm working. I'm going forward. I'm working on it. I'm going forward. I'm progressing. I'm better than I was. But that 0.000001 that I'm in right now is an equally beautiful place that I need to allow myself to be in. And sometimes you should allow yourself to be there too. If you're sad right now, be sad, but don't stay there forever. If you don't know where you want to be, if you don't know where you want to go, why stress about where you are? Because where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. Um, I've actively been trying to learn not to live in absolutes and not make everything black and white and set in stone. And it feels really good to kind of be in the gray a little bit. As much as I have a very my brain is split equally between a very analytical side of me as well as a very open and I believe in just building your reality while you let it happen in tandem and that you are part of the universe because you are the universe and all of those things and there's file cabinets of useless information and not useless information and music and I'm a nerd and I have a semi-eidetic memory and I remember a lot and there's so many things in my brain, but it's split between the free and the analytical. And when I take the analytical step back and I look at my life, I have so many amazing things in my life. I have an amazing roof over my head that I love, a home that makes me feel like I'm at home. I'm living in a place that I love to be in Colorado. I have friends that love me. I have friends that I love. I have creative endeavors. I have a great job that I'm working diligently at day by day. I'm in the best fucking shape of my life. I'm gonna have even straighter teeth at the end of January. I have amazing things in my life, but it's okay that I'm still sad, and it's okay that I'm still letting myself be. Because the flip side of my brain is remembering that there's freedom in that, and it's making me smile to yeah the quintessential one of the biggest mental health phrase, but it's okay not to be okay because it's okay. It feels good to feel good, but it also feels good to realize that it's okay that you don't. And I realized through this chat and through this chat, I can't call it a fucking chat. I'm the only person here. um, but I have gotten happier and happier through this conversation. And I keep saying it's such a force of habit, but it's I through me fucking talking to this camera and maybe to you if you're listening, it has made me feel happier throughout this to just talk and just admit and be open and be honest. And that's what mental health is all about. And that's what the fucking reason I wanted to start this podcast was to give people a platform to do it and give myself a platform to do it too. Um, I also think a part of the reason that I wanted to record this and put it out, for the first time in I can't even remember how long. I don't find I find often that people don't worry about me. People aren't concerned about me. People aren't nervous if any. Like I'm all because I'm always like I said that 99.999%. I'm always on it. Over the past couple of weeks, I've had a few people reach out to me and say like, "Hey, haven't heard from you. Just want to make sure you're okay." And I do that for other people a lot. Um, but I think maybe there's a part of me that wanted to just kind of say out loud that like I'm okay, but I'm taking my time and I'm doing what I need to do for me and I'm living the way that I need to right now and I'm gonna be okay. Um, So yeah, I just wanted to honestly, I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to get these things out. I just wanted to say it. I wanted to there's a part of me that still loves doing there or not still, there's a part of me that loves this. There's a part of me that loves talking and a big part of me that loves talking clearly and also just being honest and portraying myself as I am. I try to live my life as openly as I can. Sometimes I'm a little closed off, and I think over the past few weeks I've been very closed off. And I created a platform that I can talk long form and I can just talk. So I decided to talk because I felt like I wanted to talk. Um, I'm really grateful for the position that I've put myself in my life, and I'm really fortunate to have people in my life that love me and care about me. And to anybody that watches this, I appreciate if, season one of this project was unbelievable, and season two has been on a major delay because I haven't felt like I wanted to do it. Partially that, also scheduling with touring musicians is fucking difficult. Being being like worried that I don't have the right lighting so that my video isn't as good as I want it to be. Some like I'm feeding myself excuses and bullshit to not, and now go figure, when I should have the ultimate excuse as somebody who is terrified of, not terrified, but hates that they have a bit of a speech impediment, is now talking with fucking retainers in and listening back and editing this episode to release. I'm probably gonna fucking hate it. But I'm facing it head on. Um, yeah, I mean, challenge yourself to challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to learn and grow, but also challenge yourself to like allow yourself to stop. If you're anything like me and you are just go, 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 and you just need, you have an insatiable thirst for progress and always have to have something to do and always need a goal, challenge yourself to like not, challenge yourself to not be productive. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but there are those times where you need to not be. You need to just let your body rest. You need to let your mind rest. You need to recover. Give yourself the things that you want to give to people. Because if you don't give it to yourself, there won't be anything to give anyone. Um, this project is something that I believe in wholeheartedly. And it is something that I'm going to get back into when I feel like it. If you listen to this episode, I really appreciate it. I have always been very curious of why people want to listen to me talk. I think admittedly I know that I'm a relatively well-spoken guy. I'm a nice guy. I know what I'm talking about a lot of the time. Sometimes I don't. Um, and I think I'm real, and I think people value my opinion because I don't mince my words. I don't say things that I don't feel. I don't talk about things I don't believe in. Um, but yeah, for anybody, and this is just kind of a message from me directly to you guys. Um, if you give a shit about anything that I say, or you listen to me, or you want to hear what I think, it's humbling and I'm grateful for it. And on an episode like this, where it has no real plot, it doesn't have a band, a jam band musician or an artist or a fellow podcaster, comedian, or this is just me. And if you're into listening to me talk, I appreciate that and I thank you for it. If you don't, that's fine too. Um, I've always felt like it was a passion of mine to speak. And I always feel like I've been very fortunate to be able to speak well. I think over time I've garnered a rather eloquent way to speak. A lot of people tell me the things that I write and stuff are they enjoy it and the tonality of it. I don't know about the tonality specifically of my voice, but I more mean like the tone of the things that I write and the way that I speak. Um, so thank you if you listen, if you watch, if you've ever followed any of the social media stuff where I post those daily videos or I post or I try new shit. At the end of the day, when I flip this camera around and I look at it, I see my reflection in it, so it's a reminder that I'm talking to me because this is for me first and foremost. But I don't want to negate or not have appreciation for you if you listen. So thank you. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I am very grateful that people listen to what I have to say and that people give a shit what I think or how I feel. So that is how I'm currently feeling, and it's where I'm at. And I'm, again, the release of that feels so good. And as backwards and counterintuitive as it sounds, I am so happy to be a little bit down because it's reminding me that it's okay to be. And if I'm being totally honest, sometimes I feel like I'm better because I don't let I the best way I can say it is that I put myself on that pedestal, and I think the reason that I do that is because I don't allow myself to do this. And hopefully this will keep me off of that pedestal. And hopefully nobody else puts me up there either. Um so yeah, I'm just really happy to be just really happy to be. As much as I'm embracing the sad and I'm dealing with the things that I am and I'm a bit confused and I'm shedding layers, I'm really happy to just be me. And right now that's all that I feel like I need to be. And I always end these episodes with a positive message. Um, just be. Be yourself. Allow yourself to feel the things that you feel, no matter what it is, good, bad, up, down, positive, negative. Allow yourself to feel. Um, and allow other people to feel. Allow other people to be where they are. You can only ever meet somebody as deeply as you've met yourself. But that person can also only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. And it's not on you to fix that or make them go deeper. We're all just fucking human. We're all just figuring it out. Let people figure their shit out. Help where you can. Help when it's asked for. Take people at their value. Take people for their word. Allow them to be themselves. Allow them to speak what they feel and live their truth. Um, yeah, let yourself and others just be exactly as they are. Um, and out of that will come incredible progress. Because if you can be wherever you are and you can be present with who you are, that means that you can maintain that through whoever you will be. I wish you guys all the best of luck in anything you have going on in your lives, in any creative endeavor, any emotional dispute, any trouble, or anything that's really, really great. Remember, this too shall pass. And no matter where you are right now, it's exactly where you should be. So just allow yourself to be. I believe in you guys in every single fucking thing that you do in this life. And I love you. And today, I feel better about just being me. I'll see you guys sometime soon with another episode with a guest. The time will come when we're back at it. For now, take care and be well. And thanks so much.